Once you've got your hat finished, we're now going to work on a flower to add some character to your hat. We're going to need to pick 3 colors. I have chosen a purple, a cream, and a blue, and you're going to need to work with your 5.5mm crochet hook. Okay, your first step is to you do a slip stitch onto your hook, but we want to leave a really long tail because you're going to use this tail to sew it onto the hat. So you don't need to do a slip stitch with a big excess part. If you've forgotten how to do this, look at my first video which shows you how to do it. Okay, so first step is chain 2, 1, 2. I'll put the pattern into the description of the video. Now we're going to do 10 treble crochets into the original first chain. So to do a treble crochet, it's exactly like a double, but you start with the yarn around the hook. Okay, so now we're going to go into this hole. We're going to yarn around hook and pull it back. I've got 3 now on my hook. I'm going to yarn around hook, and this time I'm only going to pull through the first 2. Then I'm going to yarn around hook and pull through the second 2. That makes it a treble. Okay, so let's do another one. Yarn around hook, through the hole, yarn around hook. I've got my 3, yarn around hook, go through the first 2, go through the second 2. So now we've done 2 trebles. We got to keep going until we have 10. So I'll do another one. And I'll continue on. Okay, I've now done my 10 double crochets, and I want to slip stitch in the first one. So if I count around the edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's my first one. So I'm going to put my hook through, and to slip stitch, I just pull the yarn back, and I just pull the yarn through this one as well. That's a slip stitch. Now I've got a hole in the middle. So my little tail, if I take my tail and tug it, it will close up my hole. So you see it closed it up nice and tight. Now we need to change colors. There's lots of ways to do this, and you can Google different options, but I must admit I just prefer to tie it on. So what I tend to do, and this is probably a crochet advanced person will have a nightmare, I just tie a simple knot and just make sure that it's pushed up really close to the hook, so that my next stitch that I do will be in cream. Grab my scissors here. Why are my scissors never where I want them? Pause. Okay, I have found the missing scissors. I'm going to snip that purple off. Okay, now my next step is I need to chain 4. So I'm just going to do 4 up, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. This yarn's a little bit thicker, but that really doesn't matter. Okay, so now I'm going to skip the next stitch, and I'm going to double crochet in here. Now again, I like to weave these end pieces in at the same time because I just find it so much easier, but you can do that after if you prefer. So I'm just going to tuck them over the edge so that when I do my double crochet, they're kind of tucked down. Now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next stitch, which is this one, and double crochet here. Okay, so then again I'm going to repeat that. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next stitch and double crochet here. This shouldn't take me very long, so we'll not pause the video. 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch, double crochet here. 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch, double crochet here. And now I'm going to just chain that one together with this one. So that's my finished thing. So I'm just going to slip stitch these together. So I'm going to just get through that hole there. I kind of like to try and go through both of them if I can. Yeah. pull that through like that and slip in there. Now I'm going to pull those out of the way and I'm going to change my color now. Okay, so I finished my first loop and now I'm going to change to my blue. And again, I'm just going to use my little technique of tying a simple knot around the cream. So once I've got this through there, just get that knot down tight there. Okay, now I'm going to just cut the cream, and again I'll try and weave that in as we're going. So the first thing we need to do now is, with our blue, we're going to slip stitch into this 3 chain space. Now those are my tails from before, so I'm going to kind of go under them so that when I grab a hold of my blue, I'm going to just slip stitch into here, and that gets me into the 3 chain space. Now it also helps secure those little tails. I need to chain 4, so that little tail's annoying me, he's in the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're starting the first petal. Now this stitch is called a double treble. So previously with our treble crochet we went around once, but we're doing a double treble, so we're going to go around twice. Now into the 3 chain space, I'm again going to slip underneath those tails that I've woven in there just to hide them. Come around and then yarn round hook, go through the first 2. This can be a bit fiddly. Go around the second 2 and then go around the last 2. Makes a really tall stitch, so we need to do that 3 times. That's the first double treble. Then here comes the second one. Don't worry about weaving those little ends in. If you don't want to, you can just leave them dangling and you can just weave them in at the end. So there we go. And now we need a third one. 1, 2. So we're going to go through the bottom, pull the yarn round. I've got 4 hoops now on my crochet hook. Yarn round hook, go through the first 2. Yarn round hook, go through the second 2. Yarn round hook, go through the last 2. So that's my first petal. So now what I need to do is chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to slip stitch into the next 3 chain space here. So I can start my second petal. So I just bring it round, and then the slip stitch is just through this one like that. Okay, now I got to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm on my second petal, so I'm going to go 3 double trebles. So here's the first one. Yarn around there twice, through, there's through 2, through 2, through 2. That's the first bit. Now I got to do that twice more. And last one. Now that's my second, oh, come on. That's my second petal done. So again, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into the next 3 chain space and start your next petal. Okay, I've just finished my last petal and I just need to do my chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to slip stitch into this first 3 chain gap right here, and then I'm going to fasten off. Now to fasten off, you basically just put your yarn around hook, pull that through there, pull it up high, and then I'm going to cut the end. Okay, so that is going to leave me with this little bit. Now I also have this other little bit here that I didn't weave in. So this is the bit we're going to use to sew it on. There's my pretty flower. But to weave these in, this is a bit of a big hook, but if you just fish it through here, you can take those 2 pieces of yarn and then haul them back through. And once they're through like that and tucked in, then you can just nip them off so they're not causing any grief. And there we go. So if I wanted a second hat, a second flower, I could put another one on. And I'll just use that to sew through the hat. Now, I chose to sew just through one layer. You could go through both if you want to keep the fold on the hat as it is. Okay, and there you are.